This one, food, feeds cancer. Health aura. Know it right. Live it light. What if cancer wasn't just something written into your DNA, but something that could be influenced by your daily food choices? It's a thought that might feel uncomfortable at first, but it's becoming harder to ignore. More and more research points to the powerful role of metabolism in cancer development. And at the heart of that metabolism, what, when, and how we eat. We're starting to realize that many chronic diseases, including cancer, may actually be tied to elevated insulin levels and poor nutritional habits. It's not just about calories or weight. It's about the internal environment we create inside our bodies. When insulin is constantly high, it can quietly drive growth in ways that make it easier for cancer to take hold. In this video, we're going to uncover one of the biggest hidden threats in our diets. A single food that feeds cancer yet finds its way onto most plates every day. More importantly, you'll discover how to break this cycle and reduce your risk using simple, practical dietary shifts that can make a real difference. Before we get to that, though, let's first explore how cancer actually grows and why your metabolic health might be the most overlooked piece of the prevention puzzle. 1. The hidden metabolic trigger behind cancer. Why insulin matters more than you think. Have you ever considered that cancer might not just be the result of genetics, but also of how your body processes food? Recent scientific discoveries suggest that cancer may actually thrive in a metabolic environment, one that's heavily shaped by our daily diet and insulin levels. In fact, many modern diseases, including cancer, are increasingly being viewed as conditions of excess insulin rather than random mutations. One of the most powerful hormones in your body is insulin. It's best known for helping regulate blood sugar. But few people realize that insulin also plays a crucial role in growth. When insulin levels remain high for long periods, a condition known as hyperinsulinemia, it can create the perfect storm for cancer to grow. That's because insulin not only stores fat, but also stimulates cellular growth, which can encourage the spread of cancerous cells. Overweight individuals and those with type 2 diabetes tend to have higher insulin levels, and the more insulin circulating in your body, the greater the risk for certain cancers, especially breast, colon, liver, and pancreatic cancers. This connection was first clearly documented in a major study published in 2003, which found a strong correlation between obesity and cancer risk. Since then, researchers have dug deeper and discovered that insulin resistance and hyperinsulinemia are closely intertwined, forming a feedback loop that fuels both diabetes and cancer development. So what exactly causes insulin to rise? The answer lies largely in diet. A lifestyle filled with frequent meals, processed carbohydrates, and sugary snacks constantly pushes insulin levels upward. Over time, the body becomes resistant to insulin's effects, so it produces even more of it, a biological tug-of-war that pushes the body into constant growth mode. And here's the danger. Our bodies weren't designed to be in growth mode all the time. There's a delicate balance between growth and repair. If the body focuses too much on growing, it sacrifices cellular maintenance. Damaged cells don't get repaired, DNA errors accumulate, and eventually, this can lead to cancer. High insulin levels shift the body away from repair and longevity, and into a state where abnormal cells can thrive. This concept has even shown promise in real-life cancer journeys. For instance, some cancer patients who adopted low-carb, high-fat ketogenic diets combined with intermittent fasting reported fewer side effects from conventional treatments like radiation and, in some cases, improved outcomes. While traditional treatment methods like chemotherapy and radiation remain essential, combining them with strategies that manage insulin can create a more hostile environment for cancer. The science backs this up. Research has demonstrated that insulin is not just a blood sugar hormone, it is a powerful growth promoter. In fact, it acts alongside another hormone called insulin-like growth factor, IGF, which activates growth pathways inside cells. When these pathways are constantly switched on, the risk of uncontrolled cell growth, what we know as cancer, increases significantly. One study published in the International Journal of Diabetes in developing countries even linked long-acting insulin analogs, a type of insulin medication, to higher rates of breast and prostate cancer. This reinforces the idea that elevated insulin, whether from the body's own production or from medications, can play a critical role in the development and progression of certain cancers. Fortunately, you're not powerless. By adjusting your lifestyle and making smarter food choices, you can take control of your insulin levels. This means limiting refined sugars and carbs, eating whole, nutrient-rich foods, and giving your body breaks between meals through fasting or time-restricted eating. These simple but powerful steps help lower insulin levels and return the body to a state where cellular repair and maintenance are prioritized over excessive growth. To be clear, this information is not intended to replace medical advice or treatment. Always consult your healthcare provider before making any changes to your health regimen, especially if you are managing a chronic condition or undergoing treatment for cancer. That said, understanding the link between insulin and cancer could be one of the most important health shifts of our time. While people once feared toxins like plastic, pesticides, and smoke as primary cancer threats, it turns out that everyday foods and the way we eat them may play an even bigger role. So now the question becomes, what specific food are you consuming every day that could be silently feeding cancer cells? In the next section, we'll uncover the one common food that science shows can act as fuel for cancer, and how you can avoid falling into its trap. 2. How sugar quietly feeds cancer, and what you need to know. Have you ever wondered why cancer seems to grow so aggressively? Almost like it has a life of its own? One of the biggest secrets behind its rapid growth lies in something most of us consume every day: sugar. Cancer cells aren't like normal cells. While healthy cells rely on oxygen to produce energy through a process called oxidative phosphorylation, Cancer cells prefer a shortcut. They turn to a faster, less efficient method called glycolysis, even when oxygen is available. This shift allows them to rapidly break down glucose, a form of sugar, to create energy and grow at an alarming rate. This unique preference for sugar is known as the Warburg effect. But it doesn't stop at energy. Glucose doesn't just power cancer cells, it helps build them. Sugar plays a crucial role in creating new building blocks, like nucleotides, amino acids, and lipids, which are essential for forming new cells. So when sugar is constantly available in the body, cancer cells have everything they need to multiply and expand their reach. In fact, cancer cells go a step further. They alter the body's normal metabolic processes, producing lactic acid as a byproduct of glycolysis. This acidic environment, combined with low oxygen, becomes a breeding ground for more cancer growth. It's like they're customizing the body's internal conditions to suit their needs. And here's where things get even more concerning. Our modern diets often lead to chronically high sugar intake. Each time we consume sugar, our blood glucose spikes, prompting the pancreas to release insulin. If this happens frequently, our cells can become resistant to insulin signals, a condition known as insulin resistance. The body then produces even more insulin in response, resulting in dangerously high levels, called hyperinsulinemia. High insulin doesn't just regulate blood sugar. It also encourages cell growth and blocks natural cell death. That's exactly what cancer cells crave. Even more troubling, cancer cells tend to have more insulin receptors than healthy cells, making them extra sensitive to insulin's growth-promoting effects. This fuels rapid tumor growth and progression. In essence, sugar doesn't just sweeten your food. It may be silently fueling one of the most aggressive diseases known to man. Understanding this connection is key to making smarter choices that protect your long-term health. 3. Is sugar quietly fueling cancer? Here's what you need to know. What if something as simple as what you put on your plate every day could be the hidden fuel behind the growth of cancer? It's a tough pill to swallow, but more and more evidence suggests that sugar, especially when consumed in excess, plays a far bigger role in cancer development than most people realize. It turns out that insulin, a hormone best known for regulating blood sugar, is also a powerful growth factor. When blood sugar levels stay high, the body produces more insulin to manage it. But this doesn't just affect blood sugar. It also stimulates growth in cells, including potentially cancerous ones. Certain types of cancer, especially those linked to obesity, like breast, colorectal, pancreatic, and liver cancer, have been shown to respond strongly to elevated insulin levels. High insulin levels, also known as hyperinsulinemia, can trigger the release of insulin-like growth factors, IGF, which work together to support tumor development. This sets off a dangerous cycle. Sugar raises insulin, insulin promotes cell growth, and cancer cells, always hungry for glucose, take full advantage of it. Unlike healthy cells, which use oxygen to produce energy efficiently, Cancer cells prefer to burn glucose rapidly in a process called glycolysis, even when oxygen is available. This gives them the fuel to grow, divide, and spread much faster. So how do we break the cycle? The answer lies in your everyday diet. Many foods that we eat without a second thought are high in sugar or rapidly convert to glucose once digested. Candies, pastries, sodas, and desserts are obvious culprits. But they're not the only ones. Refined carbohydrates like white bread, pasta, and sugary cereals also raise blood sugar quickly and consistently. Even savory processed foods like sausage rolls, bacon, chips, and packaged snacks are often loaded with refined carbs and hidden sugars, not to mention unhealthy fats and preservatives that increase inflammation in the body, further raising the risk of disease. And let's not forget beverages. Sweetened teas, sodas, fruit juices, and energy drinks are among the biggest hidden sources of sugar in the modern diet. The key to change isn't complicated. It starts with awareness. Swap out sugary beverages for water, herbal teas, or unsweetened drinks. Reduce your intake of refined carbs and replace them with whole grains and complex carbohydrates like brown rice, oats, and quinoa. These alternatives digest more slowly and have a gentler impact on your blood sugar levels. The goal isn't to eliminate carbohydrates altogether, but to choose smarter sources. Whole, unprocessed foods not only help stabilize blood sugar and insulin levels, they also provide your body with the nutrients it needs to thrive. Combined with other healthy habits, these dietary choices can create an internal environment that's far less inviting for cancer to grow. In the end, preventing cancer may not be just about avoiding toxins or undergoing screenings. It could begin with something as simple and as powerful as changing what's on your fork. 4. Want to boost the benefits of a healthier diet? Try this powerful addition. If you're already making changes to your diet to protect your health and reduce your cancer risk, there's one more simple yet powerful tool you can add to your routine: intermittent fasting. Unlike traditional diets that focus on what to eat, intermittent fasting, or IF, is all about when you eat. It's an eating pattern that alternates between periods of eating and periods of fasting, giving your body a break from constant digestion and allowing it to focus on repair and balance. And the best part? It's flexible and can be adapted to suit your lifestyle. There are several different types of intermittent fasting, so you can choose what feels right for you. The 16.8 method is one of the most popular. You fast for 16 hours and eat all your meals within an 8-hour window each day. The 5.2 method allows you to eat normally for 5 days of the week, while reducing calorie intake to around 500–600 on the remaining 2 non-consecutive days. Eat Stop Eat involves fasting for a full 24 hours once or twice a week, say from dinner one day to dinner the next. Alternate day fasting is exactly what it sounds like, alternating between a day of fasting and a day of regular eating. The warrior diet involves eating small amounts of raw fruits and vegetables during the day and having one large meal in the evening within a 4-hour eating window. Each of these methods gives your body a break from insulin spikes caused by frequent eating. During fasting, insulin levels drop, which allows your body to tap into stored energy and activate healing mechanisms. One of the most fascinating of these is a process called autophagy, where the body breaks down and recycles damaged or unnecessary cellular components, essentially cleaning house at a cellular level. This process has been linked to reduced inflammation, improved insulin sensitivity, and a lower risk of various chronic diseases, including cancer. Intermittent fasting isn't about starving yourself. It's about creating a rhythm that allows your body to reset. Even a simple change, like time-restricted eating, where you eat breakfast at 7 a.m. and finish dinner by 6 p.m., can make a noticeable difference. That gives you a 13-hour overnight fast, which is a gentle place to start. Once that feels comfortable, many people move to a 16.8 schedule, fasting from after dinner until lunchtime the next day. It may take a bit of adjustment, but many find they have more energy, clearer thinking, and better digestion once their body adapts. Of course, it's important to listen to your body. Intermittent fasting isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. Some people thrive on longer fasts, while others do better with shorter windows. The key is to experiment, stay consistent, and adjust as needed. And if you have a medical condition or take medication, it's always best to speak with a healthcare professional before starting any new eating pattern. Ready to give your body the break it deserves and unlock the deeper benefits of healthy eating? Intermittent fasting might just be the gentle push your system needs to reset, repair, and thrive. If you found this helpful, don't forget to give this a like and subscribe to our channel. Want to explore more about intermittent fasting? Check out our next video.